Okay, so this is basically a beginner any percent tutorial for Wario World. Today I'm going to be covering how to do World 1, the basic like routes and strats for that basically. Um, this isn't going to cover anything in depth like super jumping or anything like that. It's just people who are looking to get into speedrunning the game but don't really know like everything. Like, this is basically just to go over a somewhat basic route. If you want something world record, I would watch Dangerous's run, or any of like the top five really. But this is basically just gonna go over some of the more basic techniques to use and strategies and routes for different levels. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on it. So you don't want to skip that cutscene, just mash A. Nothing really to it. Uh, and you just want to dash as much as you possibly safely can do it. Dash. Saves time for sure. So we dash into there. And we're going into our first world, Greenhorn Forest. World 1-1. So, just keep dashing over this log basically. I screwed that up. You want to go in a straight line. But, basically you see his first right link here, that's unskippable. Just mash A through his text box. And just basic movement here. Here you can actually do a dash jump over this. You don't even need to grab that pole. And you can actually skip going over one of those poles with a good enough jump. Okay. That wasn't what was supposed to happen. That's still fine. So here's the first sub-dungeon. And basically what you want to do, there's two different ways you can go about this, right? You can do what I just did, which is called stump strats. You get on the stump here, and then you jump and grab this, and then get up and go that way. It's fairly quick, but you could bonk your head, you could not grab it like you saw me do earlier. So the safer strat is to get up on this platform here, and just hop across the intended way. And that's just, I don't know, it's safer if you're not confident in your ability to do that. Normally when you come out of this sub-dungeon, you would automatically hit the garlic like you saw me do earlier, but because I didn't pull back on the joystick when I was dashing, when I went to jump here, it ended up having me do a dash jump. But anyway, the next sub-dungeon we're going to is this one right here in between those walls. And there's really nothing to it, you just climb up here. Let me show you a faster way to do that because I wasn't paying attention. So you're supposed to grab onto these ledges here and just hop up ledges, kind of like that. Ideally you don't land, ideally you just keep grabbing the ledges over and over. And that's the quickest way of doing it. Dash, and then here you want to pull back. If you want to pull back on a dash, you just flick back the joystick while you're dashing like that. Saves time. Dash jump off that log. That saves you a lot of walking. And then the last sub-dungeon in this level is the one right by the bridge. And you just hit the switch, climb up, there's a barrel here, you break it. That's all there is to it. You come down. You can dash jump and it's a little bit faster, but it's kind of hard. So you don't need to really. And now this one's the bridge. So normally what happens is you walk across this bridge, it breaks out on you. It doesn't matter which one you pick, it's always the first one you get on that breaks. Basically, we skip the whole falling into the pit thing by timing our dash jump very well. You'll want to dash jump about halfway across the bridge. That's the one I usually time it for. So we're gonna go ahead, halfway through. Yeah, well, I'll demonstrate when you should do it. I swear I'm actually good at the game. I swear I'm not a fraud. So here, Can you guys not? It should be something like that. I think I have performance moves. So one thing I didn't talk about was early access into this, because I was talking about myself. So on the next Stone Doohickey, I'll talk about it. But right now I'm going to talk about this boss, Green Fist. First I'll press start to skip cutscenes, and then here you just want to punch him. Make him mad so he goes flying at you. Make him punch off the edge. You want to position yourself very... Okay. Pause the video if you need to, rewind and pause it if you need to. Take note of where I'm standing. That's where you want to be standing. When you see Green Fist come up, you just punch him twice, and when he comes down, he's gonna push you. So you want to make sure you grab him immediately as he comes down. And then when you pile drive him, he'll just fall in, so the 3 hearts are done. And then you have to wait for him to come back up and scream before you pause and exit the level. Because otherwise you don't get the boss stamp. But yeah, you just pile drive him at the edge and it makes him fall down again. So he runs off and suicides. You come up, get a quick hit, and then get another skull for having him fall. There's really nothing to Green Fist other than positioning and making sure he doesn't push you when he falls on you. So as soon as you see him start to fall forward, press B and you'll grab him. So we're into the second level, Greenhorn Ruins. So really nothing much to... Okay, so let's talk about dash punching for a minute. So if you dash and press A and B at the same time, you'll actually get your jump while keeping the momentum, kind of like a dash jump would. Only you can grab onto ledges, and this is useful here. So let's see if I can get this first try, which I do. So you just want to do a good dash punch there. It's helpful for me to press B slightly before pressing A, but that does cut your momentum a little bit. But I find I'm a lot more consistent at it when I press B slightly before I press A. But yeah, like, if you do it too far before, you basically lose all your momentum. So you want to make sure it's not too far before. Kind of like that. It's kind of what you should be aiming for. Doing dash punches. A little more momentum actually is ideal. And here, you just want to go to these, just mash A all the way up, dash jump over here, and you're in the first sub-dungeon. Wait for these spikes to clear a little bit. If you go right away, you'll actually get kind of sucked in, and it gets weird. So actually, let me demonstrate that again. Go a little bit, because here's what happens. That's what happens if you go right away. They like suck you in. So wait a tiny little bit for them to move forward. And then here, so the angle I like to take, let me clear his enemies first. Okay, whatever, get out of here, guy. So the angle I like to take is here, like my dash. I'll take like this kind of angle. And then jump when you're along here and it'll take you over. Like that. And then make sure that you're at the end of your dash before you jump. That just maximizes your distance and gives you a better shot of making the jump. But you jump right across the wall, you don't have to beat him down, you don't have to go under and then come back up. It's a lot easier. And then here, you kind of like 3D jump and then loop back around onto this thing here. And then you're in your second sub-dungeon. Just make sure you get that quick turnaround so you grab the ledge. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it can be tricky. So here, I want to demonstrate it right here. You just dash jump onto this. Okay, that didn't quite work. It's hard. If you fail it, you can just do that and go up, but I want to demonstrate successfully. There we go. So just make sure your line perfectly straight. You get the full length of your dash and then jump up. That should be fine. Let's see if I can get arena skip. Okay, so how this arena skip works is you want to jump and then pivot Wario so that his position grabs onto the side of the arena. And you want to jump again to where he rotates slightly and then grab again. You just do that all the way around, following the curve of the arena, making sure you take into consideration that it's curving. So let's see. Okay. Okay. So that's a successful Greenhorn Ruins arena skip. So yeah, nothing really to it. Just it's practice. You just kind of gotta practice it a lot. Just run through it until you can consistently do it like 5 or 6 times in a row, and then you should have it. And then immediately after this trick is another one. And basically, you just dash jump, but like a good one. It's like a straight dash jump, jumping at the very end of your dash, and you should just jump clear of the wall. You don't have to beat it down, you don't have to grab a bad guy and spin the gate open, which is what you normally have to do. You just jump across, so easy, easy peasy. And you do the same thing here, that way you don't have to go through the blue lobes. And then here, you grab a pterodactyl. Ideally, you dash jump and grab one, but if not, just jump and get it. And this is the last sub-dungeon. It's fairly straightforward. You just have ascending and descending blocks. You want to dash jump while the blocks in front of you are below you. That way you don't bonk. And also try not to go too fast, because it's pretty easy to fall in this hole here, to be actually like honest with you. It's actually kind of easy to fall in. So, there we go. Just kind of do that. And then Stone Doohickey. So you'll notice there are crystals there. I forgot again. Let me just pause real quick. Okay. So the Stone Doohickey is the thing covering the portal, or sorry, trapdoor to the boss fight. And on the animation for the last gem being inserted into the little Stone Doohickey, you're actually able to get in there if you get a good enough ground pound. So what you want to do is kind of nestle yourself in the corner of it, and then ground pound. And then while you're ground pounding, I don't know if this is necessary, but what usually helps me is I DI in, like I just tilt the joystick kind of in the direction of like the middle of the trapdoor, and that helps me get in more consistently. I find that helps me as opposed to just ground pounding straight up. So hopefully that's hopefully that benefits you. So that's a basic breakdown of how the early entrance works. So here we come to our second fight, which is Spike Worm, aka Scythe-Armed Monster, aka Sam, as I call him, Sam. So basically how we fight Sam is we just punch him. But there's caveats to this. There's like a, I won't say frame perfect, but pretty frame precise trick where you need to dash into him while he's in the middle. He's meant to be invulnerable during that phase. You know, I'm just gonna play and then explain when it happens. So 3 punches, or a 3-hit combo I should say, where he headbutts at the end. And that's enough to take out a skull. You follow his path. And here he's going to go in the middle. He's supposed to be invulnerable, but if you time it right, which I didn't do, you want to time it so where you hit him just a little after he's up out of the sand. But I didn't get it, so hopefully I can get it this time around. And then you basically just get an extra hit that way. Oh crap! I forgot, yeah. The cycles are different when you do that also. I'll explain it more. I'll explain it more after this. So if you get the quick hit the 3rd time, where you just automatically hit him. Okay. if you get the quick hit where you automatically hit him on the third hit, as opposed to waiting for him to be invulnerable and spit out his spike balls, which is what hitting him shortly, like very, very, very shortly after he comes out of the sand does, then he goes underground and then comes back up. Like, he comes back to center for his fourth hit. But if you don't, then he just pops out of a random area in the sand as usual. But basically, if you get the third hit quick hit, then the fourth and fifth hit also needs to be quick hits to continue the cycle going. So that's kind of what I was trying to do there, but it's pretty difficult. And I don't know. Okay, Dynamite. Dynamite. So this is all about timing and rhythm. I'm going to talk about it first and then do it because it requires a lot of focus. I'm going to talk about it first. So Dynamite is about timing. Ideally what you want to do is when she has, at the beginning, you skip the cutscene, and she's going to bend her head down so she can jump. As she has her head bent down, you want to ground pound so that you land on her head, and that'll stun her way before you're supposed to stun her. And that will let you just get a really quick hit. And then from there, it's all about time. You gotta measure it. What I do is I go on a bop, bop, bop rhythm. So you ground pound her, and from the time she hits the ground, you start your bop, 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 and just kind of like, I don't know, time it out for yourself. It's kind of hard to explain getting the rhythm down, but just kind of form like a little meter in your head where you know you can time to where your ground pound is the last beat in that, you know. That's all I really have to say about Dynamite. I'm gonna demonstrate it. If it goes badly, I will talk about backup strats. And if it goes well, then good for me. Okay, so a backup strat is to grab her tail, wait for her to get up, and ground pound. Doesn't lose too much time, but you don't want to make that mistake too often, basically. Good, got it. Okay, so backup strats. Oh, shh. This is not what you want to see. When she hurts herself, she doesn't take a skull of damage, unfortunately. Oh, she does. Okay, this actually works out well then. And then at the end, just grab a column and then do that. But ideally you should be able to do it 5 times in a row. Just juggle her 5 times in a row like you saw me doing. I just drop the juggle, and what you do when you drop the juggle is you hit her with a column. Unless you can get to the back of her tail. Sometimes it's just easier to hit her with a column. So, that's how you do World 2. I'm gonna save so I can come back to this, because I didn't have too much time, but I wanted to kind of make this just a little bit. So, that's the gist of World 1 for Wario World any %. I've probably missed some stuff, to be honest, but yeah, any further questions can be addressed and probably answered if for those who are curious. Appreciate anybody who took the time to look at this. So I'm gonna end it here, and I'll be back to do World 2.